Hello everyone. I would like to state that I am happy to attend the Eurasia conference, and so I hope this study and presentation will be useful for those who are interested. And so in this study, the mechanical activation of Lizardite by grinding in a stirred media meal was studied. Mechanical activation of calcium and magnesium silicates by grinding is a pre-treatment of some mineral carbonization processes. The mineral carbonation technique prevents the emission of carbon dioxide gas into the atmosphere by chemically binding to calcium and magnesium silicates. And so three different techniques are used in mineral carbonation. These are thermal activation, chemical activation, and mechanical activation. In these three methods, minerals crystal structures deteriorate and so increasing the carbonation rate. Mechanical activation is a grinding process that is performed to decrease particle size and enlarge the surface area of minerals. The grinding causes the removal of hydroxides of hydrated minerals and so yields a highly disordered crystal structure. This is the recently favored process for magnesium silicates in order to produce disordered crystalline structures for mineral carbonation uses. And in this study, we use a vertical stirred media mill for grinding experiments. A pin-type shaft was used as the stirrer, and yttrium stabilized zirconium oxide balls were used as the grinder media. And in the experiments, the energy consumed in the grinding experiments was recorded with an electricity meter attached to the circuit. The operating parameters of each grinding experiments are summarized in this table, and so a total of 12 experiments were performed in the grinding experiments. According to the chemical analysis results, it was determined that the sample consists mainly of silicon and magnesium elements, and this result showed a high rate of loss on ignition. And so these obtained data showed that the sample was a serpentine group mineral. The exact mineralogical composition was determined by XRD analysis. The XRD pattern of the sample showed that all of the materials representing the sample content had a certain crystal structure. And additionally, it was determined that the sample mainly consists of lizardite minerals and the presence of small amounts of brucite and iron silicon. Stirring speed and grinding time are the most effective working parameters in grinding process with stirred media mills. The results of the grinding experiments were evaluated with the particle size distribution curves of the ground samples obtained. This figure shows the effects of stirring speed on particle distribution at constant grinding times. And accordingly, increasing the stirring speed at fixed grinding times resulted in smaller particle size, while the difference between the particle size distributions obtained at different stirring speeds was sharper at low grinding times, such as 10 minutes. It was determined that the difference was much less, with increasing the grinding time to 30 minutes. And so in this figure, the most striking result was that the particle size distribution at 600 rpm remained much larger in all grinding times compared to other stirring speeds. The other result seen from the curves in this figure was that most of the samples were grouped in 2 or 3 different particle sizes, and these showed a heterogeneous particle size distribution. And this figure shows the effects of grinding time on the particle size distribution at constant stirring speeds. According to the results obtained from these comparative curves, it was determined that the grinding time had a significant effect on the particle size distribution at low grinding speeds. At the same time, it was not so effective at high stirring speeds, especially at 1200 rpm. And after grinding at 1200 rpm for 30 minutes, the particle size distribution mostly remained below 100 micrometer, while a small portion of the sample showed a secondary size distribution above 100 micrometers. This result was not observed in 10 minutes and 20 minutes of grinding under the same conditions. In fact, as the grinding time increases, the particle size is expected to decrease more. However, the emergence of such a situation can be attributed to the agglomeration of particles that have passed to very fine sizes due to increasing the grinding time more than necessary. In addition to the van der Waals forces, the agglomeration is also caused by the binding effect of the water produced by dehydroxylation due to grinding for such materials. And the connection between grinding time and energy consumption in the mill has been reaffirmed and showcasing a linear association. The same situation was observed for the energy consumption depending on the stirring speed. It was determined that as the stirring speed increased and the energy consumption increased proportionally. Notably, when the mill attains meta-steady state dynamics, the mill's power consumption stabilizes and remains consistent. As a result, considering the data in this table, it was determined that grinding operations in stirred media mills were more appropriate at high stirring speeds and low grinding times. In this way, it has been proven that the product milled to much finer size is obtained with less energy consumption. Considering these results in this study, it was determined that the most suitable grinding conditions were a 1200 rpm stirring speed and 10 minutes grinding time. FTIR analyses were performed to examine the change in the functional groups in the structure of the ground samples. After mechanical activation, the positions of the bonds remained almost the same, but they became stronger and clearer. This outcome can be understood by referring the Raleigh's equation, which establishes a connection between the scattering of light and size of the particles. Essentially, the phenomenon can be explained by the fact that larger particles scatter light more effectively. And so, in conclusion, it was concluded that sterile mediums could effectively dry grind lizardites into ultrafine particle size. And additionally, it was determined that the optimum grinding conditions in sterile mediums were determined to be as low grinding time at high stirring speeds. In this way, it was seen that a finer sized product was obtained with lower energy consumption. By utilizing specific operational parameters such as 60% ball charge, 40% material charge, 1200 rpm stirring speed, and 10-minute grinding time, a ground lizardite product with a D90 value of approximately 57 micrometers was achieved. The selected operational parameters resulted in an energy consumption of 130 kWh during the grinding process. And so, thank you for listening.